If you have a man, young man has kids, and you don't have kids, and you're young turning hot, be a young turn hot bitch. Don't be an old prune mom. Let him raise his kids on his own. You didn't fuck young for a reason. So why are you trying to bleed the mother up early making applesauce and oatmeal? No. You need to be recovering from Casamigos and eating burgers and french fries because that oil wakes you up. If you decide to marry him, then it becomes a blended family. And yes, his kids should be your kids. But baby, these children is not going to remember you next week.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Omaomi, aka Petite Diva, and in this video we are discussing child-free single women dating single fathers. Now, child-free women are saying that they don't want to date single fathers, men that have children from other women. And it has been come and discussed, and people are like, are they selfish? Are they not selfish? Any which way, let's check out what people had to say on why they cannot date a single father.
I don't date men with kids. I have a couple different issues with it. The first one is if you're a good parent, you're probably spending a significant amount of time with your kids. You're going to school plays, baseball games, recitals. And in that situation, it's nonsensical and rude of me to expect any sort of priority in your life. And I've taken the backseat in enough relationships. It's time I'm with someone who's all about me. And if you're not a good parent and you have kids, but somehow you're never with them, why would I want you? And honestly, I don't think that mindset is selfish at all. What's selfish is dating a man and constantly trying to pull him away from his kids so that he can be with you. My other issue is I don't even really want kids right now for myself, so why would I want to play stepmommy? And also, when the kids are really young, you're probably still trying to figure out your co-parenting situation and your relationship to each other, and I don't want to be involved in all that. That's a lot. And I know some men are going to get on here and say, what about women with kids? Y'all have the right to feel the same way. Also, I ask for what I give. I don't have kids, so I'm not expecting anyone to deal with me being a parent. I make money, I have a career, I take care of myself, I don't have kids, I have a good relationship with my family, I go to therapy, I have solid conflict resolution skills. I don't ask for anything from someone that I am not giving. I understand that dating's hard enough and it gets more difficult to avoid men with kids the older you get, but I'll wait.
All right, so boom. I just wanted to come and sprinkle this on y'all spirit. So I seen this meme and it was like, I just asked this dude, is him and his baby mama laid up together? And he said, nah, the baby in the middle. And I wrote on my story, I said, this is exactly why I don't date men with kids. And you know, the people, the fellas be ruffled anytime I talk about anybody with children. Now, mind y'all, I want children. I desire children. I do desire a husband. I desire a loving relationship. However, I'm not forcing anything, and I'm not about to just have a baby by any old Dick, Tom, or Harry, or as you lovely people like to say, a Tyrone, or Jamal, or Jaquantis, okay? You know, it's so interesting to me because people are always shoving down women's throat. Pick a better baby daddy. Pick a better mate, da-da-da-da. But then when you choose to wait and take your time and you say, hey, I don't want a man with kids. I don't want a man with pre-existing baggage or trauma. Now, y'all acting like ain't motherfucking, sympathetic, empathetic, whatever the hell you want to call. I don't want to date no man with no kids because I don't got no kids, okay? My man and me are going to be each other's first, all right? First husband and wife, first baby mama, baby daddy. All right? And we need to be first and only, goddammit. I don't want you having no pre-existing children, okay? Only children you need to be having is the children that lay in your nutsack that have not ejaculated yet. That's it. You can't have no pre-existing kids over here. You know why? Because I've been scarred by motherfuckers with kids. That's why. I've been dating men with kids since I was 14 goddamn years old, all right? Yeah, I was dating men that was older than me. So I'm 14, my boyfriend 17, he had a baby on the way. I'm in my early 20s, my boyfriend at the time had 3 kids. My another boyfriend was a single dad, he had 1 kid. And I was always stepping up and trying to be that mother figure, you know what I'm saying? Like giving the men that I was dating the benefit of the doubt. But when I turned to a certain age, I said, oh no, I won't do kids no more. You can't have no kids over here. So when I turned 25, the rule was no kids at all.
Dating a man with children is not a good thing. Hear me out. If you're a person who knows for sure you don't want to date a man with children and you don't pursue it, this video is not for you. But if you feel like you have to at this point, you're 30, you're 40, you're beyond, and it kind of goes with the territory, hear me out. This is not a good thing necessarily. Nothing against fatherhood. Fathers are amazing. However, Being a father does not mean that someone is going to be more selfless, more mature, more empathic, more, together, or even a better father. It does not signify that. Just because they have kids, they can still be toxic, they can still be a narcissist, they can still treat their partner, meaning you, poorly. Even if it appears that they're a good father, that does not translate into them being a good partner. And you have to think to yourself, what am I actually looking for here? Am I looking for someone to be a good father to their children, or someone to be a good partner to me and our future family if we decide to have one?
If you're young, do not date men with kids, because you're still young and you want all the attention. And you deserve all the attention. So date someone with no kids. Like, don't date a man with kids if you need that attention. Don't do it. Once you've dated a couple of guys and had a couple of relationships, and you don't need that much attention anymore because you've grown into yourself, then it's probably easier to date a man with kids because you're not going to be jealous. But when you're young, you become jealous because you want to be top priority. So, yeah.
Reasons why I don't date men with young kids. First thing, sir, do I look like a fool? Do I look like a mackerel to you? Because me and you still play to your baby ma. And ladies, it no matter whether disciple or the Antichrist say, it no matter what kind of cockaboo story he bring to you, he loyalty. Because the minute the baby ma say, hame kunoch, he will take she kunoch. And furthermore, the baby ma could not even want the demon. But because they see the demon with you, here comes the baby ma. The only way I would have date a man with a young child, that if the baby ma no longer exists upon this earth.
I'm not dating a man with kids, okay? I don't care how fine you is. I don't care how promising your future is. The moment you went and made one of my sisters a single mother and created a broken home, you are not my type. Okay? Go save your family. Go get your relationship back, because y'all be blowing me. It's always somebody baby daddy that's searching for love. What other greater love could I give you than she risked her life to push your seed out in this earth? Like, who could love you like that? How could you still be searching for that? Why not just restore your relationship with her and be with her? And if she don't want you, I ain't gonna want you. Think about it. The woman who birthed your child, risked her life, don't want you. Why would I want you? Think about that. You're such a good man and you enlightened now. Go get your family back, okay? Because leave the single people with no kids out of that. We don't deserve that type of trauma, okay? You go be with the woman who risked her life to bring your seed in this earth. So if she not good enough for you, I'm not good enough for you. And you definitely not good enough for me. Two things gonna happen. Either you gonna be such a great father and you ain't gonna have no time for me, or you gonna be a deadbeat father and you gonna have all the time in the world for me. But then you gonna have this dark cloud hanging over.
And to not talk about their mother in front of you.
Exactly. Things I have heard men say that let me know I did not want to see them again. Men with children. I shouldn't have to give her as much money for these kids because she lives with her mom. Him talking to his daughter. Why you always so hungry? You this hungry at your mother's house? You always hungry. I don't got nothing here for you to eat. I was on the phone with him. She's using my money to go on vacation and travel. Well, how much are you paying in child support? I only pay like $200 a month. This other one, they used to play this little kidnapping game. He would go drop off the child support and then kidnap his son. So I'm never supposed to just have weekends free. You should have weekends free. How many weekends in a row have you had your kids already? I haven't had them in like a month, but I'm just saying, like, she only wants me, like, I could only do the weekends, but what am I supposed to do?
Why I don't date men with kids.
Now, this might seem silly, but my first kid has to be your first kid. 2, I will never be the main priority, or at least one of them. When you have kids, assuming that you're a good father, you're putting your kids first. So because of that reason, I'd rather just not date a person who has kids. That leads also into me not wanting to share my time. Again, if you're a good father, you're very active into your kid's life, meaning my time will have to be split or shared. And that doesn't interest me.
Lastly is the baby mama drama. Now, I know not everybody's situation is like that. However, it's more than half, and I just choose to avoid it.
Scrappy and Erica is the reason why I don't date men with kids. Because it's crazy how he went on an I Hate Erica tour with Bambi. Married Bambi, had 1 or 2 kids or whatever with Bambi. And now he's back with Erica saying he's making her skin glow. You can't call that co-parenting. Their child is grown as fuck. Grown enough to argue with motherfucking Bambi, bitch. That grown. So it ain't co-parenting. Erica got kids with somebody else now. It's a mess. I always said, I cannot date a man who has a child that is, I used to say a child that is, under 12. But now, no child. I don't care if they're 15. No. There's a no for me. But now I'm going to just stick to what I always did. If the mom is alive, then it's a no.
If you have a man, your man has kids, and you don't have kids, and you're young, turning hot.
I don't recommend any woman dating a single father at all. So that I would not forget, I had to write this in my notes app, but this is why I do not recommend dating a single father, especially if you are a single woman in your 20s with no children of your own. So women in their 20s and you don't have children, you should not be dating men with children. The majority of men that consider themselves to be traditional are typically misogynistic men. They believe child rearing is women's work. And these types of men are usually just scouting a replacement mother during their parenting time. And which is bringing me to number 3, women are typically seen as the default parent. And you may be tempted to go from helping him during his parenting time to just taking over his parenting time completely. Therefore, he can wipe his hands and be done. Now, he also may use his job as a way to get you to take over his parenting time, or all of a sudden all these other things are going to come up and now his parenting time is now your parenting time. And I also don't recommend men with young children who need a lot of assistance. Those kids are needy for a reason. They're kids. I have a 4-year-old, very, very needy, and that's what she's supposed to be at that age. Also, if you're not in your 20s and you don't have kids, or you do have kids, his kids need to be older and less reliant. And I can't really see what my number 8 is. I think it's saying, there's a lot of discourse around single married mothers, and a lot of them are divorcing for various reasons, but the divorce for them sometimes allows them to finally get a break and kind of force the father into actually taking care of his kids on his own post-divorce. Now, these are the type of men that are going to be in your dating pool now, divorced, and they're going to be looking for you to fill in the gaps. And also, watch a lot of single married mother content. Those women are on the verge of divorce, or they're heading to divorce. Those are the men that are going to be in the dating pool, and they're going to be looking for you to fill in the gap and to be the stepmom. So I know that there are going to be a lot of men and even some women come into my comment section and say, oh, well, then just don't date single mothers. I am still nailing this down, but it is not the same whatsoever. Like I said in one of my points, the woman is always looked at as the default parent, even in a marriage setting, to the child's biological parent. So what do you think this is going to mean for you as the stepmom? If the majority of men carry this mindset that child rearing is women's work, what do you think that it's going to mean for you as a stepmom? I'm still standing firmly that a woman in her 20s, that is not your time to be dating a single father. You need to be building your own life, taking care of yourself. And in your 20s, you can still very much find a man that does not have children and y'all built that life together. Hell, in your 30s, you can find that. But I will still stand by the fact that if you're going to do this, you need to truly assess the situation. Like I always say, I will never deter you from wanting to get married. I will never deter you from having children. but I will ask you to critically think about your situation.
Another red flag that women may feel is a big deal is dating a man with kids. Before making a decision and flagging that man out because he has kids, you need to look at the dynamic that he has with his baby mom. Was it a situation whereby it was a one-night stand and he so happily had a kid with this person? He didn't want the kid, but he had no choice but to take care of the responsibility? Or is it someone that he had a kid with that he was really involved with and he was in love with? Because if he was in love with her and he was dating her, like that was his ex of 6-7 years, sweetie, what do you think is going to happen? He will be digging up in that salmon when you guys are not on good terms. So when you find out if a man has kids, you need to understand the dynamic and the relationship that he has with his baby mom before you can say, you know what, I can ignore that red flag. You may be thinking, what about me that have kids? Like, am I a red flag? First of all, number one, you don't need to tell any man that you just met about how many kids you have or if you have kids or not, because you don't even know if he's going to be in your life long enough to meet your kids. When you think about it, it's really a waste of time. Why would you tell a man if you have kids or not when you're not even sure if he's going to be in your life long enough to meet your kids? Stop giving out unnecessary information. He shouldn't be focused on your income nor how many kids you have. That's not his business. He shouldn't be knowing that. When you are sure of him is when you can open up to him and tell him, yeah, I have this and many kids or whatever, when you know he's ready to be in your life. But if he's not ready to be in your life, what the hell are you telling him about your kids for? Because it's just like, as a woman, on the first date, a man shouldn't know everything about you. He needs to uncover some information. So some things are better left unsaid, not because you're a liar, but because you don't need to say it. You have to be like the Joker.
Would you ever date someone with kids? Honest answer and reason why. I don't want to say a hard no, but I prefer not to date men with kids. And it's not because I see you as less or anything, like nothing like that. I feel like I am a single woman. I don't even know if I really want kids. So it's wrong of me to put myself in that situation when you're probably looking for somebody that could probably even help you raise the kids with you, you know, stepmom type shit. And I don't really want kids. Second, I want to be able to like enjoy my relationship with you as a person yourself. You know, if I want to be like, hey, like, babe, let's go to this place tomorrow. Fuck it, pack your bag, let's go. That's the kind of relationship I want. And somebody who has kids, it's not saying like you can't do that, but you have other priorities too to attend to. Third, right? I want to be your, not saying number one, you know, but like I want to be one of your top priorities, kind of like you are going to be for me. And I feel like with you having kids, your kids are going to be your top priority. Like the time, like I want to spend time with you, you know, and I don't want to feel guilty thinking that I'm taking away the dad from the kids, like them spending time because of me, you know. And if you spend too much time with me and you're not spending enough time with your kids, that's a red flag for me too. And I'm not completely opposed to it because, you know, you never know in the future, but that I prefer not to, because I know your priorities are live with your kids, and that's completely okay. But I don't have kids, so I don't understand a lot of the shit that you're going to be going through. So it's just unfair to me and to the other person.
You know, maybe someone that was never married, no kids, and just something they didn't get or any kind of...
Yeah, I had a few women tell me, like, why I don't like dating men who have kids. And I'm like, why is that, if you don't mind me asking? Because I didn't take it personal. I just want to hear what she said. She goes, well, I want to be the center of attention. And I want all his attention. I want all of his... if I want to go to Miami next week, I don't want him to have to worry about babysitter. I just want to go. I'm like, well, that's not me. So well, good luck with that. So things like that. And I understand. I mean, I didn't have kids at one point in my life, and I understand that freedom and that flexibility is exciting. That's part of the fun part of dating somebody, those first few months where you're doing these spontaneous weekend trips and vineyards and whatever the hell people do nowadays. I don't know. But when you can't do that because he has kids, I can get that can be a turnoff.
Totally.
Yeah. But them wanting the complete attention and no baby mama drama. I'm like, well, there's no drama, but I wasn't going to explain myself because that's just what she thought. But yeah, and there's a lot of the same negative comments you hear about guys saying about, I don't want to date a woman with a single mom with kids. It's the same, but it's just not as vocal as you see on social media. There's a lot of women who were adamant in not dating because I had kids.
You shouldn't date men that have children. Here's why. Hello, my name is Carla, and restoring healthy mindsets is my thing. This advice is specifically for women that also don't have children. When both partners come into a relationship having children, that's valid. Obviously, there's an exception to every rule, so don't take this literally. Here's the thing you guys need to understand. When you are in a marriage, a woman needs to feel like the queen bee. And if this man does not have established boundaries with his baby mama, he's going to put you and your relationship at risk. It is not your job to fight for a man's attention, love, and time. It is also not your responsibility to play the mother role if you yourself don't have children. Again, this is specifically when the man does not have set boundaries with his baby mama, which happens more often than not, or else I wouldn't be saying this. Another thing you need to think about is that you probably won't be this man's priority, and if you're looking for marriage, it's best to save the headache. Now, it's a different story when the children are above 18 years old, because the responsibility and the dynamic changes completely. I'm talking about men that have children under the age of 18, basically that are not adults and can't be self-sufficient. If you decide to date a man and marry a man that already has children, there is a possibility for you guys to succeed. Like I said, there's an exception to every rule. But if you're a woman that has no children, I recommend for you to find someone that also has no children.
When a woman says she don't want to fuck with a dude who got a kid, are y'all not trying to deal with the kid?
Let me just go ahead and answer this question for you. I speak for myself personally. When I say that I don't date men with kids, my issue is not with the kid because I love kids. My issue is with the baby mama, like the relationship that her and the dad have. There's always a lot of unresolved feelings there, and they can't successfully co-parent because they're too busy worried about what the other parent has going on in their love life rather than taking care of the child. The child is never their main focus. So personally, I feel like it's just easier to date men without kids because at least you know what you're getting yourself into. If you're dating a man with a kid, I feel like there's always the constant what if he wants to go back to, you know, his baby mama. What if she want her family back, blah, blah, blah. And nobody have time to deal with that.
When a woman says she don't want to fuck with a dude who got a kid, are y'all not trying to deal with the kid?
I personally refuse to date a guy with kids for a few reasons. Let's talk about it. The main reason for me being that I don't think that I'm mature enough yet to date somebody who has responsibility of that magnitude. Like, you got a whole kid in your life, so you're probably taking dating a lot more seriously than I want to at my age currently. But the next reason probably is more important than the first reason. I refuse to date anybody with kids because I feel like the time that you're spending with me, you should be spending with your child. Years ago, I matched with this guy on a dating app, and he and I were talking, getting to know one another, and he told me that he had a 2-week-old. Like, excuse me, sir, but what in the whole hell are you doing talking to me? You should be somewhere out there feeding and burping your whole newborn. And to be honest, the age doesn't even matter because I will always feel like the time you're spending with me, it could be spent bonding with your child. And I'm not saying that people with kids shouldn't date. I'm just saying that for me, I can't get past that mindset, and I ain't really trying to.
Respectfully, I really do not want to date men with kids. Like, I don't know that struggle. You're never going to have to hear about my baby daddy or he need money or my kid. Like, you don't ever have to deal with that. So I don't want to deal with that. Like, it just be too much. Like, it just be too much. Whatever you got going on with her, that's her. But like, I personally don't want to deal with it. So respectfully, I am not dating men with kids. Like, I just know.
So here are my own thoughts about the whole situation. People have a right to choose who they want to date or not to date. Now, some of the people have mentioned why they cannot date a single father, and it's mostly because of there's going to be a lot of friction between the baby mama, the children, and him. Or a lot of people have said because they are selfish and they want all the attention to themselves. Now, my own personal thought about the whole situation. Unfortunately, I have a phobia for dating or marrying any man that has children. And this is based on my own personal experience growing up. It's too much drama that I'm not ready to put myself into. That's just the truth. The fact is, if the baby mama is not over the man, there's going to be so much trouble from my side. If the parents or the family of the man don't like you and like the baby mama, there's going to be trouble. I cannot enter a marriage or enter a relationship and I'll be having trouble instead of peace of mind. So personally, I cannot do it. Then again, the financial aspect is something you have to consider, because if, for instance, you have kids with the person or you marry the person and you have kids, there's going to be a lot of, oh, I have other kids. It's not only your kids that I have to take care of, and statements such as that. And for me, I don't have that personal strength or restriction or ability to be fighting people, ignoring people because of your past experience, your past relationship. So personally, it's a no-no for me. Now, a lot of people, especially men, have said that, oh, that's selfish of women, that to say that they cannot date a single father, and all the talk about the whole thing. And I'm like, well, everybody is entitled to their preference. And if for peace of mind, somebody says, hold up, I cannot be with you, I don't think that is a bad thing at all. Any which way, that's my own thought about the whole topic, the whole issue. I would love to hear your thoughts about the issue. Do you think that women that are saying they cannot date single fathers are being selfish and wicked? Do you think that they have a right to say no, they don't want to get involved in that whole drama? I would love to hear your own opinion about the whole situation. So please leave your comments in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.